Yo, what is up YouTube? James Baek here, and welcome back to another episode of VGC 2018 Baek Battles. Today we will be using this Trick Room team inspired by Sejun Park's 2013 Worlds team with the Jellicent, Abomasnow, Marowak, Volcorona, Scrafty, and Stakataka. Let us get straight into it for today's episode. But this team overall, if you haven't checked out the previous episodes, I highly recommend go checking them out. But they have been some really great battles, and hopefully we'll be able to keep up this winning streak that we do have. But you know, always there's something bound to go wrong eventually, right? Matchup wise, this team, you know, can kind of struggle against like certain matchups and certain Pokemon. Like I don't like the H/Feeny, Amoonguss, like all those kinds of Pokemon can, you know, make this team struggle. I do have answers, but you know, sometimes it's hard to get like those answers in a good board positioning, especially since like these Pokemon, like even though they can do pretty well, it's like they're very slow. So if I can't get Trick 'em Up and get these Pokemon in a good position at the same time, it's like, yeah, it can be really difficult. But otherwise, yeah, if you haven't already, you can try out this team down below. There's a placement of it as we find our first opponent of the day. A Japanese player with the team of Salazzle, Tapu Fini, Thundurus Incarnate, Cresselia, Tyranitar, and Maw. So that's really interesting. One Thundurus Incarnate, which is a Pokemon we don't really see as much, of course, because of the increase of terrains and the Thunder Wave nerf. Thunder Wave used to be 100 accurate, and now it's 90, which I don't really get to change, to be honest. Like, that was a poor change, in my opinion. Got rid of a really good speed control. Like, the only thing that was really annoying about Thunder Wave was, like, paralysis chance, but I felt like if they lowered that instead, I wouldn't say get rid of it, but if they lowered it instead, it would have been better. But yeah, Salazzle is also interesting. Fast fake out, encore options. You know, it has corrosion toxic, but that's not usually in VGC. It's more of a support mon. So, how do I want to handle this team? A Stakataka can do pretty well here, I think, depending on what kind of Thundurus that is. I think Jellicent plus Scrafty does pretty well here. I'm gonna go Jellicent plus Scrafty with Marowak and Stakataka. Because Abomasnow only does well against two Pokemon really that I'm thinking of, Tapu Fini and Thundurus. Stakataka can do some work against Fini and Tyranitar as well as Thundurus, and I'm pretty sure that's a setup Thundurus. Yeah, so two Mega Evolutions potential, Tyranitar, Maul. Definitely Maul is one of them. Thundurus set, I mean, you usually don't see them as much unless it's like a Z move or a Nasty Plot set. Those are usually the only two Thundurus incarnates that I've ever like seen, to be honest. So we'll see. I also want to use Thundurus Incarnate. I still think it's a really good mon in general. Like, the only problem is you might be taking a gamble with Thunder Wave. I still think its support set is still pretty good, especially with fast taunt. Jellicent Scrafty will take the field against my opponents. Salazzle, Tapu Fini. Okay. So obviously not the ideal lead here, especially since I'm staring down a Fini and I'm staring down a Salazzle. Wonder if there's going to be a taunt option coming out from my opponent. Moonblast is definitely annoying. I don't think you muddy water in this position at all. So Stakataka is looking like a very safe switch, and I think Water Spout just for damage. Because one, I don't know what the Fini is holding. Maybe it's a Specs variant, but Water Spout like covers basically my opponent going for taunt, and I could break the Sash on Salazzle, which could be pretty good because the Tyranitar is in the back for my opponent, or like it could go down to it will only have one turn if it is Sash, or like I could just put in range of Fake Out, or like any other move from my Pokemon later in the game. So Scrafty gonna switch out. I'm gonna go into Stakataka. We'll see if it's like a Fake Out taunt here, or maybe just taunt from Salazzle since Salazzle can carry taunt. It's just gonna be the Fake Out into the Scrafty, and I'm guessing it's a taunt here. That's the only reason. Calm Mind. Okay. That's not too bad because I get the chip damage onto the Fini that I want, and I get a Water Spout off into Salazzle, and that's going to make my opponent really question twice about switching maybe a Pokemon such as Mawa. I'm hoping it's not Leftovers Fini because that's probably the more annoying set to deal with, as I do a lot to the Salazzle. It is the Focus Sash set. Wonder if it's Taunt though on Salazzle. If it's Encore, it could Encore my Jellicent, which could be annoying too. I mean, Specs doesn't knock out Fini. Yeah, Specs doesn't knock. I mean, Specs, like, basically Calm Mind gives Fini a +1 boost, so it's basically a Specs variant. +1 doesn't knock out Stakataka, so you might want to double into Stakataka. I'm going to see what happens if I try to protect Trick Room here. Overheat into the Stakataka and a Muddy Water. Okay, so I do make the best potential call here. I'm hoping for no accuracy drop because accuracy drop can be annoying, but right now this position's looking pretty good. I get an extra turn of Trick Room for free basically because turn 1 I didn't set up Trick Room, and this turn I do get up Trick Room, which is really nice here. As one, I'll be able to go for a Water Spout, do a lot of damage to my opponent's side of the field. Nothing really wants to switch into a Water Spout on my opponent's side. Maybe Crest can take it. Tyranitar can take it decently well, I guess, but I won't like it. And Maul definitely doesn't want to take it. So I'm basically pressuring my opponent with Gyro Ball plus Water Spout because I can knock out the Feeny with a Gyro Ball unless Maul does switch in here. So Salazzle, I would assume, gets sacked here, and Tapu Fini protects to bring out a free switch into Maul so you can protect the following turn. But right here, I'm just offering a lot of offensive pressure against my opponent. Like, my opponent doesn't really would like this position at all. And I'm trying to think about later in the game, like if I don't knock out Feeny here because it protects and Salazzle switches out, because I really wouldn't see like Salazzle hard switching. Yeah, Feeny protects, which is, you know, probably the best play my opponent could have made here. So I do get the Gyro Ball off into the Feeny's Protect, and the Water Spout is going to go off into the Salazzle, and I'll be able to pick up the knockout. But yeah, my opponent gets a free switch in the Maul. You can Mega Evolve, and that's basically was my opponent's best play here. So yeah, of course, the Feeny is a bit annoying, but it's not too bad, especially since Maul is going to come out. I can go out into, yeah. This is basically how I've been thinking. Like, I'm trying to think 2 steps ahead of my opponent right here. Because right here, like, everything's been going what I wanted, but, like, you know, still have to figure out how I want to handle the effect, this. So Hydro Vortex seems like a very good play into the Maul just for damage. Even if it protects, it's going to do a lot. I can go out as Scrafty, I feel like. Because of the fact you're going to Muddy Water here, you're not going to play rough for Moonblast to Stakataka, in my opinion. I mean, unless you really anticipate the Scrafty switch, then good for you. But I don't. It's really highly unlikely, especially since Stakataka is threatening a lot of damage. And what this allows me to do, basically, is get this Intimidate off in the Maul, which means Jellicent can live a Sucker Punch now. Because I'm actually not sure if I would be able to live a Sucker Punch, to be honest, just because of, you know, the fact that even though Sucker Punch has been nerfed, like, it's Mega Maul, huge power is still, like, a huge threat. It's going to Mega Ball, so it's definitely going on the offense here, as it goes for the Play Rough into Justin slot, so no Sucker Punch. Okay. That still does a massive amount of damage. But to be honest, if Justin goes down, I think I'm okay. So, we're going to be able to get our Z move off. It is going to be the Hydro Vortex. It is going to go out into this Mawile. How much is this going to do? Should do like, what, 80? 85, yeah. Okay, Muddy Water. If this knocks out Jellicent, it's ideal, but I don't think it is, to be honest. I feel like it's going to be a few points off. Yeah. Gets an accuracy drop on Jellicent, which kind of stinks. Into Scrafty really hurts there. I do get the Cursed Body, though. That's actually kind of huge, not going to lie. That is kind of huge. Because now, like, Stakataka is looking like a very free switch in here, since you can't Moonblast that slot. And I think I'll actually switch out Scrafty and go into Marowak here. Do I need Marowak as much? Let's see. Thundurus could be annoying. Stakataka kind of takes a hit. Yeah, I think I'd rather have, like, Scrafty alive. The reason I want Scrafty alive here, that's a really clutch Cursed Body right there. And that's kind of why you run Cursed Body for, like, situations like these, where if you can disable your opponent's attacks, it kind of prevents them from doing much damage. Jellicent could potentially just recover up. But right here, I do want to keep Scrafty alive because, you know, being able to fake out and trick him later in the game is really, really nice. And Feeny's in range of Gyro Ball, which is really good here. So Scrafty will switch out. I go into Marowak here. Let's see what my opponent decides to do. Gonna be Protect with Maul. Probably anticipating the fake on the Maul, which is okay here. And probably a Moonblast. I don't know who it's going into, though. Like, both my Pokemon should be able to take it just fine. It is going to be in the Marowak slot, so Marowak is going to take this fine. Didn't take that as well as I thought. Trick Room should be... No. Why did I press that? Okay. Yeah, Trick Room's one more turn. I'd rather go for Gyro Ball right here into the Feeny and Boomerang the Mawile. Even if Mawile Sucker Punches, that's fine. As right here, I'll be able to get a Boomerang off into the Mawile if it connects, and a Gyro Ball and a Feeny if Feeny doesn't protect, but maybe I can pick up a knockout. My opponent really doesn't have a switch in unless it's Crest again, or if it's Tyranitar. And in that case, like, Rock Slide wasn't going to help me in this situation anyway. So we'll see how this works. Mawile is Cresselia on the opponent's side is going to be really tricky to deal with because it's like probably going to be a Trick Room mind game. Like, are you going to anticipate me to go straight for Trick Room? Do you go for a Trick Room? Are our Trick Rooms going to collide and cancel each other out? Like, that's going to be an annoying mind game to deal with. But right here, Maul just gonna Sucker Punch and no protects coming out. So Sucker Punch -1 does KO the Marowak, but Gyro Ball should just be able to knock out the Feeny, I would assume, since it did take a bit of chip. Oh, are you kidding me? It didn't knock out the Feeny actually. Man, that's a bulky Feeny. That's definitely a bulky Feeny. I'm not intimidated either. Moonblast is gonna come out. Shouldn't do too much to Stakataka. Yeah, because I have some special defense. Trick Room's gonna return to normal. Now I can go out in my Scrafty, get this Intimidate off into Mawile. This endgame's still a bit tricky though. This endgame's still a bit tricky though. It also comes down to how fast or slow the Mawile is. I don't know if Scrafty and Mawile speed tie. I know Mawile's like what, base 50? What's Scrafty? 70. No, I definitely don't outspeed. Well, if it's min speed. I think I could Gyro Ball here the Tapu Fini, but I do want to Trick Room up because Trick Room will just allow me. I think I just want to fake out the Fini and just Trick Room up. Okay, maybe. Okay, now I'm starting to disagree with my play. Because of the fact you can double up in the Scrafty with fairy type attacks, maybe the best play was to sack my Jellicent there and just Gyro Ball to Feeny. Feeny's actually going to protect though, okay. So that's a start. Like, this endgame's still confusing. I don't think I played it right. Play rough is going to go in Scrafty, so yeah, I could just sack my Jellicent there. Sacking Jellicent, I think, was the call there. The Scrafty is going to go down. I do Trick him up, but I don't like my play. I really don't like my play. I like that protect from Feeny, as you know, its move is disabled. Jellicent can come out, but like it comes down to what my opponent's last Pokemon is, right? Because it really comes down to like what set it is. Tyranitar is gonna be annoying. I mean, Mawile can't do much, but like the Life Orb hit is gonna be, you know, doing a lot of work. Even if you're -2, you get a knockout to Jellicent this turn. I'm just gonna Gyro Ball to Feeny and recover. There's no other play I have. Even if Feeny switches out, I have to Gyro Ball that slot. And it really comes down to what my opponent's last Pokemon is. If it's Crest, it's gonna be confusing, like how much damage I'm able to do and how much damage Cresselia is able to do. Especially since Mawile should be able to pick up a knockout on Jellicent pretty freely here with the Iron Head. So Feeny's gonna go for a double. It does fail here, and Sucker Punch actually instead to Jellicent. Okay, so my opponent, I don't agree with that. I think we confirmed Mawile was slower than the Jellicent earlier in the game, so I don't agree with that. Did we? I think we did. Maybe I'm confusing it, but I'm pretty sure it did. So I get the attack beast boost. I'm able to get a recover up. This way I'm going to be able to live Mawile's Sucker Punch. Now it's like a game again. Like I actually do have a good chance now. I don't agree with the Sucker Punch, but let's see what my opponent's last Pokemon was. It's going to be Tyranitar. Yeah, this game, it would have been like a hard game for me to win. It especially depends on the Tyranitar set. I'm pretty sure Gyro Ball does knock out Tyranitar. At +1? I think it does. I think the only way my opponent wins is if you crit here with Sucker Punch. As Tyranitar's gonna protect, which is fine. I did Shadow Ball the Mawile slot. Let's see what it goes for. It goes for Sucker Punch in a Stakataka, which I do agree with there. But yeah, not doing much at all. Stakataka, even if it's a lonely nature, it's still taking the hit. Shadow Ball's gonna come out into the Mawile, and yeah, basically, yeah, I'm kind of confused. I'm really confused. I think, okay, the reason why I'm really confused is because of the fact that you Sucker Punch there when I'm pretty sure Mawile will undersped Jellicent. Just Water Spout Gyro Ball is the play here, but yeah, I don't agree with it because, yes, the match is going to be forfeit. I feel like that was a game just my opponent choked. Well, like, I could have still won potentially, but it's like, I feel like you have a really good shot there if you just Iron Head. Maybe you don't have Iron Head, but then you risk the play rough, which is better than like gambling on whether my Jellicent, you know, has recover or not. I mean, I didn't reveal recover at all, I think, in the game, but still, I think you should assume recover there is like an optimal play. So I think I would have played rough there, the Jellicent, and then it's like Tyranitar and the Mawile versus my Stakataka alone. And we saw how much the Sucker Punch did. It did a good amount. Iron Head, 2 Iron Heads would have probably just finished off my Stakataka, to be honest. So I would have probably had to go for Rock Slide. Hope I knock out the Mawile and flinch the Tyranitar in that case. But yeah, like if I decide just to go for the Gyro Ball into Tyranitar, which is I think my opponent should have gambled on, and protected there, and Maul was able to get 2 Iron Heads off. Yeah, I can't win unless I get that Rock Slide flinch. But even then, like, I think Iron Head and a Sucker Punch in 1 Life Orb hit will KO my Stakataka. So, yeah, like, I don't agree with that last play, but able to take the win. Luckily, yeah, I mean, my opponent's game wasn't sealed at 100%, but, like, I feel like you had to go off me choking overall, and yeah, that was not a good place to start with the Sucker Punch. If you had, well, maybe if my opponent didn't have Iron Head, but then like you go for Sucker Punch crit later, like I don't know, I don't agree with it. But just go for the attack and the Jellicent, pick up the knockout, because even though Jellicent's not doing much damage, it's like you force stack attack in a game where it can only like, one, it could Gyro Ball knock out the Tyranitar, but you know, the Protect Mind game, or you know, force that scenario where it's like Rock Slide is something that's crucial in the game. Like you could avoid Rock Slide potentially, you could crit Sucker Punches more often. I just don't feel like attacking the Jellicent was the correct play from my opponent. But we'll be right back with the second battle of today's episode. Alright, we have Poke Alex. Ooh, 1714 rating. If you don't know who Poke Alex is, he is the UK national champion back in 2016, as well as 2017 was the... No, wait, no. No, I am right. 2016 UK national champion. In 2018 London, he got second place at the International Championship. So this is going to be really interesting because I do know Alex. We do talk a lot. I met him back in like senior years online, and he's a pretty cool dude. So we're going to see the team of Rotom Wash, Cresselia, Salamence, Tapu Bulu, Heatran, and Tyranitar. It's a QR code team that I do not recognize, but looks pretty solid actually. I like that. I like Rotom Wash, Tapu Bulu, Heatran. I think I did cover it in like in one of like the prep for VGC videos, and it's like a really solid core in my opinion. But like, yeah, I like my position a lot here against my opponent. My opponent looks like only has 2 really big answers to my Stakataka, so I think I want to lead Jellicent plus Scrafty. No. Do I want to lead Jellicent? No, Jellicent's not really that good here now that I think about it. I think I do want to lead Scrafty though. Like Scrafty, Stakataka, Bombsnow for sure. The question is my last Pokemon. Do I want Marowak? It does help. It does help against my opponent's team, but like, Volcorona actually doesn't look bad either if I can Will-O-Wisp. Okay, what do I want? Oh geez, I'm gonna go Marowak. I'm gonna go Marowak. My time was so low. Maybe I should have brought Jellicent here. I think Jellicent would have been better. Like another answer to Trick Room, especially since I feel like Stakataka is gonna be doing a lot of work against my opponent's team. So this is gonna be really hard. Oh man, I really regret not bringing Jellicent right now, especially since Jellicent I think could go through my opponent's team. I'm pretty sure we're gonna see Rotom Wash and Tapu Bulu in the game. Oh, Heatran, Tyranitar. Interesting. I really wish I brought Jellicent now. If I brought Jellicent here, like imagine my position here. I would be able to go for like... I should have brought Jellicent. I think Jellicent would have been a good call here. I do get the Intimidate off into Tyranitar. I wonder how fast that Tyranitar is. We don't know yet. I think the play is to fake out the Heatran and go for Trick Room. I don't know if Tyranitar can knock me out with Superpower though, which is like scary to think about. I don't really need Trick Room up yet though. I think I'm gonna Gyro Ball the Tyranitar slot. You know what? I'm gonna Gyro Ball the Tyranitar slot. If I can knock out Tyranitar, do a lot of damage, this would be great. This is where I wish I brought Jellicent, because if this does work out, because I'm kind of expecting maybe a Salamence switch for the Tyranitar slot. Oh no, he just stays in. Wow. The Superpower? He turn flinches, low kick. Okay, this shouldn't knock me out. That knocks me out? I did not anticipate that at all. Oh, it's Life Orb. Oh, I made a terrible turn 1 play. Okay. Oh, geez, Stakataka. Oh, that's the problem with Stakataka. 4 times weaknesses. And I should just Drain Punch like my instinct. I should Drain Punch the Heatran. Okay, that's not good. That is not good at all. Okay, so Tyranitar should switch out into, I think it would be a Salamence slot here. I think I'll Snarl and Rock Slide. Yeah, I'm gonna try Snarl and Rock Slide. Maybe I can get that. That was pretty poor on my part in overall. Oh, Heatran switches out. Well, I get whatever on the switch. It's gonna be Rotom coming out, okay. And yeah, Tyranitar switches out. I'm guessing that's Salamence. Yep. Okay, so I do get something out of this turn. I get like a Snarloff and a Salamence, which is pretty helpful. But right here, it's not looking that great. You get the Snarloff into the Salamence, which, you know, it's going to lower special attack as well as Rotom, so Rotom's not going to be doing as much. I do get the Rock Slide. It does connect, so this should do some good damage. That does really good damage to the Salamence. That actually did some damage. Hold up. That did some damage. I need Scrafty around. I need Scrafty or Marok around because they can beat the Heatran and the Tyranitar. I think I'm going to go into a Bomb Snow and Rock Slide again. Pretty sure you Hydro Pump here and you go for a Double Edge into Scrafty. So I'm just gonna Rock Slide. I'd rather keep Scrafty alive, and if I can knock out Salamence, that's great. I could also see maybe Protect Salamence here and go for like Will-O-Wisp, which I could definitely see here, or Hydro Pump just into Marok for a 2 KO. But if that happens, I get like the Ice Shard pressure. So Bomb Snow gonna come out here and fire off at Snow Warning. Let's see what my opponent decides to do here. I think he would go on the offense if you have any chance. And yeah, it looks like my opponent is going to go on the offense. Go straight for the Mega Evolution. We'll see what move it is here. I'm just hoping it's not a double up in the Marok Double Edge plus a Hydro Pump here. We'll see. It's going to be, yep, the Double Edge here into, yep, the Scrafty slot. So I don't mind trading the Abomasnow here, as Abomasnow is going to go down. Maybe I should protect a Marok, because, yeah, the recoil damage... the recoil damage was pretty big. Hydro Pump's gonna come out into Marok. That's gonna do a lot of damage. Yeah, I should protect the Marok. Oh, I feel like I'm... yeah, this is pretty bad. I think I did not play this well at all. Okay. It's not too... it's not bad. Well, it is really bad here. Not gonna lie, it's really bad here. Heatran's gonna come out, and I'm pretty sure it's like Will-O-Wisp into Scrafty and a Heat Wave or Earth Power into the Marok slot. Which is not ideal here, obviously. So, I would go into Heatran if I was my opponent. I don't think Tyranitar's like ever a good call. Yeah, Heatran's gonna come out. I should have just protected. I forgot, like, even if you go for Double Edge, the recoil will finish you off, so there was no point of me going for Rock Slide. Rock Slide was just a very poor play. And not bringing Jellicent kind of hurt me because I feel like Jellicent could have done a lot of work in this game, especially since I'm Trick Room. Especially since it was a really good switch, and like I could have switched into Jellicent turn 1, which would have been really nice, but not to call here. As yeah, I mean Rotom can't do much. I think I have to go for a miss anyway, so I'm gonna knock off the Rotom and Boomerang the Heatran. We haven't seen the Z move yet though. I wonder what's the Z move. Rotom gonna protect, okay. And Heatran gonna protect. Okay, maybe scouting out for a protect from my Marowak, potentially? Yeah, I think that's the case. Or maybe trying to get your berry back if you have enough hail. Let's see. Do you get your berry back? I don't think you do. Yeah, I don't think you do. I think Drain Punch actually does knock out Rotom at this range. I think that's what I have to go for. But if you burn me here, then yeah, it doesn't. So, I'll go for knockoff here and... I think I'll protect Marowak this turn because I want to see my opponent. I think my opponent should just Earth Power Marowak. It's a safe play overall. But maybe you risk the Heat Wave here because you need the damage on Scrafty immediately. This is going to be like a tough endgame, that's for sure. Like, I think my opponent has this, but there's still a slight window of opportunity, especially since, you know, Heat Wave's a move that's not 100% accurate. So, Marowak is going to protect. Also, let's see if Rotom gets the Will-O-Wisp off. It's going to be Hydro Pump into the Scrafty slot. Okay. Just going straight for damage. No Will-O-Wisp. With the Assault Vest, I'm able to take that and the -1. Flamethrower into Marowak. Okay, so you don't have Heat Wave. Okay. That's good to know. Knockoff into the Rotom. Does pick up the knockout. So I'm in this. 50% berry. Yep. I wish I Drain Punched. Surprised he went for a Will-O-Wisp. I wonder if that puts me in low kick range, which I don't think it does. I wish I had Earthquake here. I mean, my opponent doesn't know I have Earthquake, so maybe you don't expect it, as Tyranitar is going to come back out. I wonder if you... Okay, now it's a 50-50 mind game from... Because I feel like you have to target down Marowak at some point. if I Drain Punch the Tyranitar and it goes for a low kick, I probably survive a low kick and I'm in a good position. But otherwise, yeah, it could be a really bad position. Otherwise, like, if you protect Tyranitar and just Flamethrower the Marowak, I'm in a tough spot. So, I want to call he goes low kick. And I hope he doesn't Earthquake. Like, he should be worried about Earthquake here. So, you know what? I'm going to protect Marowak and Drain Punch the Tyranitar. It does fail. Flamethrower is going to go out into my Scrafty. I think he doubled. Yeah, and I didn't have Earthquake, so it was going to be a good game anyway, because, like, Tyranitar outsped my Marowak, like, Heatran outsped my Marowak. It was going to be a good game regardless, so, I feel like I played terrible this game, not going to lie. I really am disappointed about how I played that game. I think overall, like, I had a decent shot of winning. Decent shot. Why did it sound like decent? I don't know. I don't know why it sounded like that. Okay, but that was just a really poor played game by me. I feel like I'm really disappointed in that one. Just because I had, like, so many opportunities to... I feel like turn one, like... I think one, like, having Jellicent could have really helped me there, because Jellicent would have been such free switching. If I just went for my gut and just protected and went for Drain Punch, for instance, in the Heatran turn one, like, I would have been in a better position, I feel like, overall. And, yeah, that didn't really help out at all. So, yeah, I think Alex played well. And I think that, overall, like, I just made really poor decisions throughout that battle. But you can go check him out. He does stream on Twitch, and he does have his own YouTube channel, so you can go check him out in the description down below. But I'm really disappointed in myself. I just cannot get over that battle. But yeah, thank you all for watching today's episode of VGC 2018 Back Battles. If you did like this video, please leave a like down below. It shows your support, as well as you can check out my social medias. You can check out the playlist down below, as well as you can check out the side tiers and this paste bin of the team. Why do I keep saying QR? I guess it's because I'm like, if I do make a QR code, it's like I say QR, then I say paste bin. But it's just a paste bin down below. You can try out the team if you want, but yeah, I'm going to get out of here. That was a shameful loss for me. Thank you all for tuning in, and I'll catch you around next time. Have a great day, people. See you around soon.